Action Comics Doomsday Special Issue 1 finds Kara thinking about how on Krypton there was no concepts of heaven or hell thanks to it being strictly science cultured, but they still had the devil and its name was Doomsday. Kara is broken from her thoughts by Clark, who thinks she's got a little bit too much maple syrup on her pancakes. He asks if she is okay, learning that his cousin has had a dream the night before about Doomsday. Kara tells Clark of the Kryptonian word Shikruth, which means urban myth, and Doomsday was one of them, as a story of rogue scientists creating a being of immense power and hate who could die and come back stronger was always passed around. She knows that it was a campfire story, but Clark knows for him it was real. Kara asks what it was like to be killed by Doomsday, and Clark knows that he's fought actual gods, been trapped in time, tortured on Warworld, and had his son stolen by an evil version of himself, so he's had a pretty rough time for a boy from Kansas. But on a physical level, very few moments have been darker in his life than when he was trading punches with Doomsday. He knew he had to kill Doomsday before it killed him, since if he didn't kill it, it would kill everyone he ever loved and known. He reveals that at the time he was so tired in the way humans get tired, and he had nothing left in the tank, so to speak, and each swing was just dead weight, but then everything went black. Clark says that Doomsday did try and come back recently, trying to regrow himself from Metropolis's own memory of him, but Martian Manhunter stopped him. However, a young man named Raphael RC died in the process. Clark asks Kara if this really was a dream, and Kara knows it was, since what else could it be? Osul, Othel, and Crypto come running into the house, causing Clark's attention to be pulled elsewhere, so Kara steps outside. Suddenly, Martian Manhunter appears, revealing that he actually sent Kara the nightmare the night before. Sitting with Supergirl, John reveals that he got a psychic code he didn't understand since it was in Kryptonian, and before it faded, he sent it to the one person he knew who might be able to translate it properly. Kara did understand it, confirming that it was about Doomsday. She asks why he did get the nightmare and not Clark, and Manhunter reveals that he had a psychic connection with Doomsday when he encountered him, and he didn't wish to send that to Superman and dredge up old wounds for the hero. He thinks that the villain is trying to return again, asking Kara where Doomsday is currently. Supergirl doesn't really know, only seeing and feeling things that were hot and full of hatred. Manhunter wishes to tap into her mind to see it, and Kara lets him, allowing him to see the nightmare deep down to its root, discovering that it ends in hell. The heroes are suddenly transported to hell, despite Kara not believing in such a place, since it couldn't exist in a rational universe. Manhunter knows that humankind believe in it, so it exists. The heroes watch some demons talking about how Doomsday was cast into the Venom Pit recently, and it did nothing to him, and he just bathed in it, while the others mention that the being made the screaming wall swallow its own tongues. Supergirl sees the people being tortured by the demons, rushing to aid them. She manages to get the soul to safety, but suddenly the ground turns into long spidery fingers which wrap around Kara's legs as the soul begins wrapping around her upper body, holding her in place. Manhunter rushes to save Kara, but the demon bathes him in hellfire, which begins burning away Manhunter's very soul. As the demons surround Kara, they are ripped apart by Doomsday, who eats them whole as the demons begin calling him King Doomsday. Before the villain can get the heroes, the two are plucked from the fires of hell by the first of the fallen. Kara thinks the being is joking when he calls himself the devil, but John knows that he's the most powerful being in hell, and he is the one who brought them to the realm. John reveals that the devil is letting him read his mind, knowing that the knowledge will scare him, and that's very much the point since he enjoys their fear. Kara tells him that hell is a stain on existence, but the devil knows humans believe in it, so it must exist, since there cannot be light without a shadow. John figures that Doomsday is upsetting the balance of hell, and the devil confirms as much, knowing that if the realm believes in Doomsday to be king, then he will be, and if he gains enough belief, he will be able to leave hell and walk Earth once again, and his psychic connection to Manhunter allowed Doomsday to find the gateway back to Earth, which he now sits at, waiting for it to open as it begins to fall apart thanks to all of the demons believing in him and torturing souls in his name. The devil figures that if they can defeat him in battle, no one will see him as the king of hell anymore, and he holds the only armor powerful enough to hold him back. Supergirl refuses to fight the devil's war, but the devil tells her that if she doesn't, Doomsday will go to war with heaven, something that she would not find a delightful thing to happen. Supergirl knows that she cannot make a deal with the devil, but the villain gleefully knows that so many people say that before they have no other choice. Sometime later, Manhunter attacks Doomsday, clearing the field for Supergirl, now wearing the Hell armor. The Devil reveals that the armor is made from the chitinous skin of things that existed in Hell before Hell was even Hell, and it is sewn together with all of the hatred of Hell. He knows that Kara would be quite the soldier of Hell if she was just a little bit more corruptible. Supergirl takes down Doomsday, demanding that he stay down, but the villain doesn't, quickly regaining his composure before throwing Manhunter right into the Hell Gate. As Supergirl fights off Doomsday, Manhunter realizes the gateway runs on belief, tapping into the minds of the souls around the gate and telling them that if Doomsday is allowed to leave Hell, their loved ones that they left behind on Earth will suffer just like they do now. He thinks that there is one thing more powerful than belief, and that's hope. He asks the souls to lend them their hope, but no one comes forward. Instead, they all go back to watching Supergirl's hopeless fight with their king. One soul, however, the one who momentarily escaped torture when Supergirl freed them, approaches the gate, pushing themselves up against it and bracing it. Others seem to follow suit until thousands are crashing over one another to barricade the gateway to Earth with a wall made from their own flesh. Doomsday defeats Supergirl, grabbing her body and running his fist into it, but he only finds he holds the now empty Hell armor. Watching their master be tricked, the demons soon abandon him, returning to the service of the true devil as Supergirl and Manhunter are blasted back to Earth. Supergirl asks Manhunter if what they do on Earth means nothing thanks to all of the souls suffering in Hell they saw. Since if humanity creates a place like Hell and so many are headed there, then what they do is worthless. Manhunter knows that the people of Hell came together to protect the living and to spare them from their own doomsdays. So what could hold more worth than that? Kara agrees, since keeping their Doomsdays at bay is the best they can hope for, as back in Hell, Doomsday returns to pounding on the fleshy wall, intent on freeing himself from Hell again. Elsewhere in the 5th circle of Hell, Raphael RC finds himself confronted with Wrath, who demands to know how he is wandering the realm alone. Raphael tries to run from the demon, who knows that he was the one who brought Doomsday to Hell and begun this chaos, summoning the Doom Hounds, monstrous hounds that have begun to spawn in the wake of Doomsday changing the hierarchy of Hell. The dogs chase down Raphael, who is cornered on a cliffside with nowhere to go. The demon grabs him, proclaiming that since he made Hell worse, he belongs in heresy. The demon takes the man to a coliseum of fire, where suddenly Raphael's powers kick in, revealing that when he died, there was another with him and connected to him, so he brought a little something from that person along with Doomsday to Hell. Raphael reveals that a part of Martian Manhunter's shape-shifting powers live within him, and Manhunter has worn many different faces over many different years. Raphael transforms into Bloodwind, who easily bests the demon and the Doom Hounds, using the demon's own chains against him. The Hounds, seeing their master bested, fall under Bloodwind's command. The hero frees some of the tortured souls, telling them that none of them deserve this and they are free now, however they must flee before their masters come back. The soul asks the hero to stay and protect them, but Bloodwind assures him that the Doom Hounds will, and he must go deeper into Hell. The soul warns him that each circle of Hell is more deserving than the last, but Raphael knows that no one deserves a place like this. He knows that if this is Hell, then there is a devil, and he would like a word with him. Raphael leaves the fire and returns to the swamp he arrived in, reverting back to his human form as he heads to the next circle of Hell, confronting its demon who knows that he shouldn't be there. Raphael agrees, since Hell was never meant to have its own Superman, yet it does now.